It's all loaded. Yay. Okay, so we're going to shake it for a second, and then I'm going to tell you what we're doing this afternoon. I waited all afternoon for my guy to finally leave so I could have some alone time with you guys. And all day he was like, oh, I'm going to go do what I have to do, but I don't feel like it. And I'm like, oh no, go do your thing, honey. You do your thing. I have stuff to do. And he just kept procrastinating. And I'm like, you know, if I don't wait, you're going to be all like up in my kitchen, aren't you? Yes. Yes, because that is what our men do. They get all up in our kitchen. And we're like, hello, I have things to do today. So why would you do that? So what we're going to do today, and we're gonna have some fun, and then we're going to have a little bit of a serious chat. So I posted today, can coffee change your life? So I want to tell you guys the story of literally how a coffee changed my life. And of course, as on cue, my dog would come and eat and or drink really, really loud. Yay! Thank you, dog. So we're going to ignore the dog. And I want to tell you guys a story of a gloomy Friday and a cranky, miserable Dori. And I got an idea, and I saw that sparkle cappuccino video floating around Facebook. And I immediately started searching for a sparkly bulletproof coffee. And I thought, you know what, this is what I need today. Today needs a sparkle coffee, and I don't care. So I took out my phone and I started to Google, and I started to search, and I started to Pinterest. And nowhere could I find a sparkle bulletproof coffee. And I thought, you know what? I can do that. I have sparkles. I know how to make bulletproof coffee. I can make that. And I literally hopped out of my chair in my house coat. I ran in the house. I was so excited. I made a video about how to make this awesome coffee that I just invented. I ran downstairs. I told my son, oh my God, dude, I just made the coolest video about coffee. And he was like, so Mom, you made 4 different videos because you weren't time delay pausing. You just thought you were. And after spending an entire day trying to piece together that video for me without proper editing software, because this is what I don't have apparently, my son was unable to link it together. And that night I came home from getting my hair done and I made the video again. But more than the fact that it was the very first recipe I ever made, it was the very first time that I realized I could make something, that I could create something new that I hadn't seen before. Up until that point, I had only just been replicating things I had seen, trying recipes I'd seen, and at that point, an original thought had never really come to me. And since that moment, I think they come to me, fire to me on the daily. Every time someone says something to me or asks me for something or posts a question, I think of a food that would go with it. But as silly as it sounds, my first sparkly coffee literally changed my life. So I'm going to scroll through, I'm going to say a couple highs, and we're going to get started. But I want you guys to let that sink in for a minute and think about how sometimes it's just one easy, simple thing that changes everything. Because one day deciding I was going to have sparkly coffee, whether it existed or not, opened up a world to me where I discovered I can literally have anything. So we're going to say hello to Arkansas. Hello, darling. On Facebook, Miss Bree, Kathy. So lovely to see you ladies. Lisa, Meg, Carol, my darlings. It's so nice to see you. So I did go to the grocery store, but we're still going to make out of a coconut cream today because I want you guys to see how if you're dairy free, you can still have whipped cream. So what you want to do is you want to buy your highest fat coconut milk. I buy this one on the cheap at Dollarama for $1.25. But you want the high fat, and you need to chill it overnight. A minimum of 8 hours to overnight. So the first thing we're going to do is whip up. I'm going to not whip the whole can, but we're going to use half of the can of coconut cream. Now, usually they'll tell you separate what's really firm from what's slightly liquid. We're going to thicken it, so I don't mess with the whole separating unless it's really liquid. Mine is quite thick, so I don't mess with that myself. Now, we're going to whip this up. Now, the key to this, honestly, is having it chilled long enough. You do want to chill it. The minimum 8 hours overnight is better. But we're going to thicken it with a little bit of xanthan gum as well. Now, if you don't have xanthan gum, you can thicken this as well with gelatin. So you would just bloom your gelatin and then add it. So first we whip it a bit. And this is going to be a little bit loud, guys. Sorry. Okay, so once it's at the point like this where it's starting to just sort of form soft peaks, you want to add a little bit of xanthan gum or your bloomed gelatin. Now, this will not get quite as firm as a heavy whipping cream, but it's still really, really nice if you're dairy free. Now, I'm going to caution you with the xanthan gum, teeniest amount. Like, we're putting this much in a teeny little spoon. I'm going to move it so you guys can see. So it's really, honestly, I almost would suggest putting your xanthan gum, oh, I got coconut cream on me, in a sprinkler, like a salt shaker, so that you can sprinkle just a little bit on. So we're going to add that, I'm going to say, is what's about 1/8 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum. And we're going to whip that in. Okay, and there we have a little bit more firm. So you're not going to get quite as firm as you're going to get with a heavy whipping cream. And I think we're going to add just a little bit more, one more sprinkle of xanthan gum, and whip it. Now, if it's not quite as firm, if you're doing with the gelatin, you might want to chill it a little bit in the fridge and then add your color. So I'm going to add about half as much as we added the last time. Just a little bit more sprinkle. My whipper doesn't want to whip though for some reason. There we go. Going on with you, whipper? Let's eject you and see what's going on. Are we not clipped in there right? These are the fun things that happen when you're live. Yay! I'm wondering if, like, seriously, if my beater is dying. But we're as firm as we want it to be now anyways, so. But I'm wondering if my motor is going on my... Maybe it's just firmer whipping cream than I thought. Okay, so we've got our nice thick coconut whipping cream now. And we're just going to color that. So the way I've done it before in videos is the quick, easy way. You color one section of each bowl, swirl it together, and then pipe that into a bag. The other option is to go like super fancy, and I have this piping divider that you can separate bags of 3 different colors. So you know what, I'm going to say, I don't know, do we go easy? Do we go complicated? I feel like it's an easy day because it's Sunday. I feel like it's an easy day. And there's no egg white in here. This is just coconut cream. So canned coconut milk that's been chilled overnight. And then a little sprinkle of xanthan gum. So this is basically just a dairy-free whipping... Oh, drop the lid. Dairy-free whipping cream. Now, when I do this for my regular recipe, I just use heavy whipping cream and whip it up. But I was running short on whipping cream. So I decided, you know what? Coconut cream is way cheaper. I pay $1.25 a can. So I was like, you know what? Let's go nuts. Let's make pretty colored whipping cream and just have fun with it. So let me grab a couple spoons and let's make these some colors. So we're going to do it the easy way. And we're just going to mix it all in one bowl because I feel like doing it easy peasy today. Now, what I usually do is I just sort of divide it up so that you've got different sections, and we're going to add a little color to each. Now, we can add a little sweetener to this too if you want. I don't normally add sweetener to my coffee, but sometimes when I do it with the coconut cream, just a little bit of sweetener is nice in there. And we're gonna add cotton candy flavor because I thought, why not? We're gonna make a dairy-free cotton candy bulletproof coffee today. So we're gonna add some cotton candy flavoring to it. Only about 2 drops because these ones are a very strong candy flavor, and we're gonna put a little bit in the coffee too. So let's mix in our cotton candy flavor first. Okay, and then let's do my favorite colors. Let's do teal and purple and lime green. Why not? My favorites. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put a little bit of color in each corner, and I'm going to kind of make it all swirl together. So it'll be some green, some teal, some purple. So we're going to put 2 drops of green in this corner and 2 drops of purple in this corner. Oh, we got 3. That's okay. We like purple. And 2 of teal in this corner. And I'm calling them corners. They're in a bowl. It's just round. It's just round. So I'm going to start stirring in one side of my bowl. And then stir on the next corner of my bowl. So it kind of blends all in together so that you get a mix of all the colors together. I don't know if you guys can see that. I might have to tip you a little bit. Tip you. Here, we'll tip you first so you guys can see it. It's all swirly, different colors. And then this one. So we've got our cream all swirled into different colors. I have my pretty unicorn cup that we're going to make our coffee in. And we're just going to do a basic bulletproof coffee. So I'm going to start with coffee base. I'm going to add coconut oil, and then we're going to put our flavor and our pretty whipping cream on top. So we're going to add a little bit of cotton candy flavor. And just 1 drop in the coffee. We have 2 in the whipped cream as well. And we're going to add some coconut oil. Whatever you prefer in your fat coffee. I like coconut oil for mine. So we'll mix up our coffee. And I boiled the water just before I started. You want it to be hot, but not quite boiling water. And we'll stir up our coffee. And while I'm doing that, I'll see if you guys have any questions. And yes, you guys can ask any questions because we're going to talk about how I got started, how I found keto, why I stay keto, and how we can share that with our friends and family. So if you guys have questions, by all means, type them up. My guy's gone, so we have a little bit of time to hang out together this afternoon if you guys want to chit-chat. So we'll give that a stir. And then we're going to do it the easy way. We're just going to pipe it out of a plastic bag rather than go to all the trouble of, and you know what? Yeah, let's just do it in a plastic bag. It's so much easier. I don't really want to take out and make a mess of my whole piping bag. So then we'll just spoon this. And again, you can whip this up and save it in separate colors. In your fridge, it'll stay good for the week. So what I like to do is I like to whip up my bowl of fancy whipping cream and just keep it in the fridge. And then whenever I feel like, having a fun, fancy coffee, it's just a matter of making my coffee and put on my fun whipping cream. So we're just going to layer it in the bag so that we get a swirl of all the different colors that we've got on the go. And then just pipe it on top of our coffee. And then we get to do the fun part and just sit down and hang out and chit-chat. But I think the key that I want you guys to know more than anything is that eating healthy doesn't mean we're missing out on stuff. We just have to figure out our own way to make it, because we can always have a version of that. So I'm going to try to see if I can tip it a little bit so you guys can see while I'm piping it on. So it's all just the different colors are smushed together in our bag. And then as we pipe it on top, it just kind of swirls so that we get all of the different layers of color. And again, you can do this with a heavy whipping cream. You can do this with a coconut cream. We'll just swish the rest of that back into the bowl. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of food grade sparkle on it, because Dori and sparkles. Oh, that cotton candy tastes so good. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, what color sparkle do we want? Do we want silver or gold? I'm feeling the silver. I'm thinking silver for this unicorn one. There we go. So then these are actually cake airbrush sparkles, but this is what I use, and you just need the teeniest bit that I'm just going to dip a knife in and sprinkle it on top, so that we have our little bit of sparkle. In the original recipe that I made, it's, if you look on my YouTube, it's funny, I have a couple stories about it too, because I made little funny videos about how coffee loves me too, because I love coffee, but coffee loves me back. You don't know. We have a very special bond, coffee and me. I made a couple videos about my love of coffee. And it's white chocolate unicorn sparkle bulletproof coffee. And in that one, I used gelatin sparkles that I made at home. And in the dairy-free version, I show you guys how to make the sparkles. So I think we're going to do a separate video about how to make your own gelatin sparkles. But it'll have to be a two-parter, because you have to let them dry for 24 to 48 hours. But it's a lot of fun, because they're just gelatin and food coloring and this awesome stuff called pearl sheen. So this makes any color metallic. So we just mix up our gelatin, whatever color we want. We add the pearl sheen, we let it dry, and then we grind it up in a coffee grinder. But it's a two-part deal, so I think we'll do it one day, show you how to put it together, and then show you how to make the sparkles the next day. Mine lasted forever, like 6 months. My sparkles lasted me at home. So let me pop this in the fridge. And I'm going to tilt you guys so you can see the coffee. I'll tidy this up a little bit. And then let's chat and see what questions you guys have. And I think, how did you find keto is my favorite topic. And I'd love for you guys to comment how you found keto. Was it, a friend, family member? Did you see a video online? I'm curious how you guys found keto yourselves. So let's tidy this up, and then I'll grab a seat so that we can sit and chit chat. And I've made myself a lovely mess, as per usual, Dori. As per usual. Good job, girl. Good job. Okay, and then let's get to drinking this pretty coffee, because let me tip you guys each so that you can see it first before we dig in. See if I can lean that a little bit better to the camera. There you go. And here on Facebook, let me see what I can do for you guys here. There we go. It's so pretty. And actually, maybe what I'll do is just flip you guys around this way so that I can... Oh, can I even do that while I'm on here? There we go. Flip you guys around so that you can see it, because it's easier for me to do it that way. So pretty. I should move that pen. That's what you guys were rested on. I'd take a picture if I could, but I can't take a picture from here. Not while I'm on it. So I'll turn you guys back around, and let's chit chat. Oh, flip you around. There you go. And then I prop you guys up on a pen so you're not too tall. Let me grab a chair to sit on. And let us chat, darlings. Okay. Let me get all set up. And so first I'm going to see if we have any questions while we were putting everything all together, and then we will start from there. Hello, Louisa. Oh, thank you for sharing, Bree. That's so awesome, darling. Actually, I never even thought about that. I should probably take a moment to share it to my group. Because we're live from my public page, but I never think to share those things to group until afterwards. And then I'm like, uh-oh, everybody had to wait. Uh-oh, bad Dori. Unless you can quick share it to group, because that might be easier. I think, you know what? I think I just need to maybe get better at asking you guys to, hop on and share it for me to group, because I honestly keep forgetting to do it. And then they get to watch on the replay instead of being able to watch it live with us. And I feel bad because it's our group. Our group should be watching it together with us. So let me share it to them really super quick, and then we will get started. I'm so slow at this stuff. Like, if you guys ever wonder why it takes me so long to get things edited, it's because I'm not technically savvy. There we go. And I never knew anything about Facebook until I started doing this for you guys. I'm so sad. Everything I've learned from YouTube. I owe it all to YouTube. Every social media I've figured out in the last year, I have figured out by watching a YouTube video about how to figure it out. I watched a YouTube video about how to start my YouTube, how to start Instagram. I built a Twitter, but I don't know how to use it. So I just realized I'm going to have to watch a video about how to Twitter. Because I built it, but man, do I not know how to use it. Yay! Oh, and you know what? It is fun. It's fun and it's easy. You know what? Like, a fun, sparkly coffee makes a crummy day better. And that's why I discovered it. Like, that day I was having a crummy day. The weather was bad. It was miserable. And I thought, you know what? All I need is I need a little sparkle. I need a little sparkle in my life. I need a little love. And at that point, I was missing a lot of things back then. I hadn't been doing keto all that long, and I kind of lived in that sea of, I'm going to miss everything. I'm never going to have pie. I'm never going to have cake. I'm never going to have. And I was sad and I was miserable. And I'm going to say I spent probably about the first 2 months just making a list of all the things I was kissing goodbye. Like, I literally was punishing myself for deciding to be healthy. I was like, oh, you want to be healthy? Well, then you're going to be miserable because you're never going to have this and you're never going to have that. And I don't know why I found it so difficult just to be like, it's good. I'm not going to miss that. But once this happened, the first time that I created something and I realized that I could, that's when everything changed for me, like a light bulb. In that moment, when I realized I could make anything, I realized I would never miss anything again. Like, And that joy when it came over me, I can't even describe to you guys how excited I was in the moment when I realized that I didn't actually have to miss all of the things that I love to be healthy, because that was a hard choice to make, right? Oh, you're going to give up junk food forever? Like, forever, ever? Like, forever, ever? Like, really, though? Because forever, ever is a really long time. Like, if forever, ever is a really long time to you, when I started, I'd never been healthy or eaten healthy ever. So I can't even say that it was a long-term decision for me. I was like, yeah, I'll do it for a couple weeks or a month, you know, until I hate it like every other diet I've ever done. So Carol says she found out through keto through her son and his wife, and they learned it from a doctor that they worked for, and he lost 37 pounds. So yay! Yay for 37 pounds. That's amazing. Oh, and you know what? I love a fancy, pretty coffee more than anything, and I hate how much fancy coffee shops charge us for it. Like, hands up if you don't want to pay $8 for a Starbucks. What? Is there gold in the cup? There better be gold in that cup, Starbucks, I'll tell you. But if you guys love fancy drinks like the kind that you see on TV and stuff too, check out my YouTube, because I'm only slightly obsessed with fun drinks. So some of my favorites are at Shamrock Days. I love the Shamrock Shake from McDonald's, and this year I realized that they have like 64 grams of sugar in a medium. So I made a Shamrock Shake, and then this is actually kind of how I met Jessica. After I made the Shamrock Shake, she messaged me and she said, oh, Dori, I love that Shamrock Shake, but my kids can't have any food dye. Is there any way that we can figure out one that I can make for my kids? And I was like, well, yeah, your kids shouldn't go without stuff. So after I made Shamrock Shake, I made Shamrock Shake au naturel. And that one, it's really sneaky. That one is stevia leaf, mint leaves, and spinach. So all good, fresh stuff. I also make... the chai tea latte from McDonald's, that's my favorite. I made a dairy-free knockoff of theirs too. Love me, McDonald's. Love me. I don't care. I don't care. Start making me things without sugar, McDonald's, and I'll love you back again. But until then, I'm making my own. Oh, yay! Susan is starting her egg fast tomorrow. And, and adding her coffee. Yay! You can still have coffee if you egg fast. You can still have coffee. And I don't know all the ins and outs, so I won't promise that I know a lot about egg fasting, because I'm going to tell you guys a secret. I don't want to eat just eggs all day, every day. And for me, one egg is a serving. So that would mean, like, Dori got to eat 2 eggs, maybe 3 eggs for the whole day. And I can't do it. But good on you guys. I've seen people doing egg fasts, and they'll make like a wicked omelet with 3 or 4 eggs. And one of the admins in Robin's group, he's doing the egg fast, and he posted something. He was like, oh, I made that with 6 eggs. I was like, oh God, 6 eggs is like 2 or 3 days worth of food for Dori. Like, Oh, I paused too long to sip that, guys. That is so good. Okay, so I never thought of cotton candy and coffee before until today. Best new creation ever, cotton candy coffee, I'm just saying. Oh, okay, Sue said she married a type 1 diabetic and she's looking for low-carb stuff, and she found keto. It's taking some time in the kitchen, but she's becoming a keto pro. And you know what? I'm going to tell you guys what. Before keto, I couldn't bake. I could not bake. Like, I could cook anything because cooking is easy. It's, oh, I'm going to throw a dash of this, a pinch of that, taste it, test it. Oh, that tastes good. I'm going to add a little bit more this or a little bit more that. But baking with wheat is so precise that you could never just do the, pinch of this, pinch of that. And I wrecked everything, and never on purpose. Even box cake. Like, I can ruin a box cake. So when I started keto, guys, I was super, super leery to bake. Like, I was so scared of keto baking that every time I tried a new recipe, I did it in a half batch, just in case I failed. Because we know that keto ingredients are expensive. And every time I was on pages, I would see everybody post, oh my God, I made this and it failed again. And I can't keep affording these fails. So I started trying out recipes in a half batch. And so far, everything that I've tried has worked out in one fashion or another. Like, it might be a beginning fail and then we readjust it and make it into something else. But minus the eggless bread that I tried to make, nothing flat out failed. But that flat out failed. Eggless bread did not work for me at all. It was so pretty though. Like, it puffed up and it cooked up like it was going to be so pretty and it looked so nice. And it was all completely hollow on the inside. Like, so hollow. As hollow can be. Oh my goodness. Sue, hello Sue, you finally caught me live. Yay! I'm so excited. Oh, Miss Dixie, hello. And Denise, it's so awesome to see you guys all. So yeah, I'm curious, and this is your ask me anything moment. Keto, non-keto, you guys can ask me anything that you want. And hello, Miss Jody, Jessica. Hello, darlings. It's so nice to see you. Oh, coconut cream is my favorite. I absolutely love it. Now, there was a time, because my sister did an elimination diet where you slowly bring things out and then bring them back. So she had to go dairy-free for quite a while. And I went nuts on dairy-free recipes, and I learned how to make dairy-free anything. So if you guys are dairy-free, or if you love someone who's dairy-free, or if you just love coconut, because that's an option too. I'm not dairy-free. I just love coconut. Go check out on my group, Colorful Keto Lifestyle, and in the subgroup recipe box. And there's a post called Struggling with Dairy Free, and it has all of the amazing dairy-free recipes I found. Everything from yogurt to dairy-free cream cheese to feta cheese to mozzarella cheese, you name it. There's a way to make it dairy-free. All of the recipes that I tried personally have my opinion of that recipe and the pictures of what I made as well. So not every recipe in there I've tried yet, but they're all wicked cool recipes, and they're all on my must-try list. So I have a whole bunch in there if you're looking for that. Yay! Okay, so let's see what we got for comments. I think we've pretty much caught up, but I'm just scrolling to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Oh, I'm so glad. Sue says she loves my YouTube and it helps her a lot. I'm trying to figure out how to better sort content on my YouTube. I've started libraries, so it kind of splits it a little bit better as to what's where. I'm also kind of toying with the idea of having a separate channel, one for recipes and one for other content, but I'm just not sure because I don't know how you transfer content from one to the other if you can. So I don't know, but it's something that I'm thinking about. Another good spot where content is split pretty good is Pinterest. But I will warn you, I lose interest in my Pinterest. Dori, pay attention to your Pinterest. But this is what happens. Oh, and I've got a mobile. Oh, there we go. Let me switch this. We do not want that. Apparently I've been on. Okay, we're back. Oh, goodness. I just blew out all my mobile data. Yay, Dori. I just got a message that says you've used 95% of your mobile data because I realized I was out and about and I had my data on and my Wi-Fi off. Uh-oh. Oops. This might cost me a little bit of monies this month. Oh, well. I've done that before. More than 2 times. More than 2 times I have done that. Sometimes an extra $20 on my phone bill. I think the worst I've ever done was 50. And I was like, ouch. $50 extra on a $110 phone bill. Oh, Dora, so bad. So bad. Okay, we got another one. Jody says that she heard about keto 3 times in 1 week. Her mom said you should do it. A customer at the shop that she works in, and then she saw a Dr. Berg YouTube video. So that's awesome. I love Dr. Berg too. He's really awesome. Dixie says she learned about keto from watching YouTube videos by Dr. Barry, Maria Emmerich, 2 of my favorites. And a friend of my husband's was following keto and had lost 30 pounds in 3 months, and something just clicked for her. And you know what? That's what it was like for me. I saw one video that wasn't a great video. Oh, and here's the click more. Something just clicked for me. 5 months and down 45 pounds. Woo! Keto strong, baby! You get it, girl. Dixie, I'm so proud of you, girl. Pumpkin spice flavored latte. I have not made one yet, but I think we're going to for fall. I'm thinking let's do a pumpkin spice. Let's do both. Let's do a hot latte, and then let's do like a blended pumpkin spice, because I love my cold drinks too. Even though it's fall, I still really love a blended drink with a nice heavy cream on it. Let's do both, baby. Let's do both. We could do that. My guy's working out of town next week, so we're going to have a fair amount of time together in the evenings to play food and recipes. Recipes, darling. And it's fall season. I'm wanting some seasonal coffees. I'm so in the mood for some fun, new, interesting coffees and hot drinks. And I think we're going to start doing some of the stuff for Halloween too. I know it seems soon, guys, but if you want to be able to make the recipes and have time to make them, I have to get them out soon for you. So I think we're going to start working on, I don't know, did you guys see the unicorn sparkle cream eggs that I made at Easter time? I think we're going to make a Halloween version. So I think we're going to do like skull cream eggs, where we'll do like a round base and then fill it with like a red marshmallow candy, and then put a chocolate skull on top of it and make some really cool Halloween ones. We might do like, I was thinking about doing like some fun Halloween party dishes, and I was thinking about that the other day, like for kids' parties and stuff. And I was thinking about some of the fun dishes that we could make. Like, you know how you used to always see the traditional like witch's eyeballs and hair, and it was grapes and spaghetti. So I was thinking, you know what, let's maybe do something with like a pork meatball and zucchini noodles and a red sauce to make it cool and fun that you could take to a kid's party. And then some fun gummy candies and some things like that. Now, last year at my house, and depending on where you guys live, Google it. Well, not Google it, but look it up in your area. It's called the Teal Pumpkin Project. Teal like my hair. And what it is you get a teal pumpkin or a sign that says teal pumpkin, and it lets people know that you give out non-food treats as well at your house. So I went out and I bought a bunch of stuff from the dollar store, and I think this year, I think I'm not doing candy and chips this year, because when the kids came to the door, they were more excited about the toys, and they were like, whatever, there was bubbles and there was bouncy balls and sunglasses and notebooks and, you know, little cars and bubbles, and I picked up like some glow sticks, but just an assortment of stuff that the kids could have. And they dove into that bowl long before they even looked at the candy bowl. So I think this year we're skipping the candy, and I think we're just giving out toys at my house for Halloween, because then I don't have to deal with the big bowl of candy that's hanging out at the house after. Because you know what? I did really good for Halloween. I did really good the week after Halloween when I was driving around with extra candy to drop off in my car. That's when I ate candy. And I didn't go nuts. I ate 1 pack of Popeye sticks, but they don't even taste good, dude. Like, I don't even know why I ate Popeye sticks, other than that they were in my car looking at me. So if it's not in your house, then it's not looking at you. then that's helpful, right? It's not in my house, it's not looking at me. And let's be honest, do those kids need your candy? Like, really? Really? Do you need to go out and spend $100 on junk food to give all the kids in your neighborhood more junk food? They don't need it. They might want it, but they don't need it. They need toys. They need fun. They need to not have rotten teeth. Yes, Janet, I'm live right now. You totally caught me live. Yay! I'm so excited. And Carol says that she learned from her aunt. And you know what? I love that keto is a family affair. Family affair. Yay. Oh, Nanette. So lovely to see you. I think we're going to have to make a lot of different pumpkin spice flavored things. I did do instant pumpkin spice caramel cheesecake the other day. And we did a pumpkin spice chia pudding. And what else have I done pumpkin so far this year? A couple, but we're going to get on it. We're going to be getting on that pumpkin like crazy. Oh my goodness. And speaking of pumpkin and pumpkin-y flavory things, who loves traditional sweet potato pie? With sweet potatoes and the marshmallows. So we're going to do keto sweet potato pie. And the way you do that is you make a blend of cauli rice and pumpkin, because that tastes like sweet potato, and then we top it with keto marshmallows. So stay tuned for that. We're going to do that because sweet potato pie is traditional at my house. I make it every Christmas, every Thanksgiving. So we're going to make that keto. So Meg says, you just gave me a great idea, making some whipping cream and having a couple tablespoons of sugar-free s'more syrup. Yes, and thickening it with xanthan gum. Girl, that would make the best fat bombs. Oh my goodness. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a secret. When I first started keto, I lived on whipping cream. I did. I whipped it up. I added the flavor to it because I was addicted to flavored coffee creamer. I was addicted. I put 6 sugars, I put International Delight coffee creamer in mine, and it still didn't seem sweet enough. So when I switched, I would make up my flavored cream, and I would just put it in the fridge. I'd put it in my coffee. But you know what? Halfway through the day, when I felt like I was being deprived, a tablespoon of flavored whipping cream, girl, that solves that every time. You take that, you put a blackberry on that, and you feel like the queen of the world. You don't feel like you're missing out anything when you can have a spoon of whipped cream whenever you want. Yay, Dixie! Dixie said she just ordered Skull mini loaf pans off of Amazon. Oh, I should totally show you guys what I've got for molds too, just because we're sitting right here anyways. And I'm so excited. Dixie says she's so behind. She has to find those recipes. YouTube, darling, they're all up on my YouTube, or scroll on my public page, or if you go to the recipe box. I just started that group 2 weeks ago. So anything that's on there will be all recent stuff and not all of the older ones. And the dentist gave toothbrushes. I love that. They should give toothbrushes. Why not? Because everybody's getting all kinds of junk and candy. They should have. Keto marshmallows. So I will post the recipe for you guys. I'll look up and see if I can find the one I've used. Now, I have used this one twice successfully, and it works out really, really well. Now, I've looked at other recipes, but this is the only one I've come across that melts. So this recipe will melt. So you can make s'mores with it. You can melt it on the top of your dishes. You can melt these ones. You can make... I want to say an equivalent to a Rice Krispie square, but you can use them to make a marshmallow treat. We don't eat Rice Krispies, but you can use them for a marshmallow treat. So let me find this one for you. And honestly, I tried it. It worked out perfect for me. The one thing you want to make sure you do is you want to refrigerate them. The first time I made them, I did not refrigerate them, and they went moldy on me. So you do have to refrigerate these after you make them. And I'm just going to find the recipe that I use, because every time you Google it, it's hard to find. Okay, so the one I used is healthy low carb marshmallows, and I'm going to click on it so you guys can see what it looks like. It's a cutout squares with chocolate on the top. So this one, me turn it so you guys can see a little bit better. This one is the recipe that I used. When I used it, let me turn it this way for you guys. And it worked out completely successfully for me. Now, it also says you can lessen the amount of gelatin and make marshmallow fluff with it. Keto fluff, what? Now, when I made this one, I added marshmallow flavoring extract. It calls for vanilla flavoring extract, and I added marshmallow flavor. So mine literally did taste exactly like marshmallow. Even when I got my kid to taste them, he was like, yeah, wow, Mom, that totally tastes like marshmallow. What I love about this recipe is it is so easy. All this one has is 3 large egg whites, 4 tablespoons of gelatin, 1 tablespoon of cream of tartar or apple cider to stabilize your egg whites, and then your sweetener to taste. It calls for a half of a cup of Swerve. I don't use quite that much, and I use just a liquid sweetener. I find it's easier, then it doesn't get granular and grainy on you. But you whip up your eggs, you add your gelatin, you add your flavor, and then you pour it into your pan. You want to sprinkle it with coconut flour so it doesn't stick. And that's it. It's awesome. You chill them, you slice them, you can coat them in chocolate. At Easter time, I made marshmallow bunnies with them, and they were so, so fun. Flavored coffee, Nanette, that is my weakness also too. And you know what? Every year, I hated when Starbucks would come out with their, fancy frappuccino, latte, pay out your butt for it, $8 coffee. And I was like, I want that. And yes, you can roast that marshmallow recipe. The other marshmallow recipes I looked at said they did not melt. This one does melt. So this one, you can roast these marshmallows. Definitely you can roast them. Nanette said she found some sugar-free creamer, but it has 5 grams of carbs. And yes, I would caution you guys with that. There's a lot, let me say one more time, a lot of carbs in those flavored creamers. And they usually are a lot of chemicals, a lot of chemicals. So you know what? Whip up your own coconut cream, whip up your own heavy whipping cream, add your flavor to it that you want. Some of my favorites, I love to make a combination of buttered rum is one of my favorites. I like to make a Bailey's kind of flavor. Sometimes I like to make a peppermint one, caramel one. Sky's the limit, really. I love flavors since I started keto. That's my absolute favorite is flavor. Oh, yes. Marshmallow top chocolate. What could you wish better for the holidays? Now, speaking of that, Debbie messaged me today, and I love Debbie. She's one of the moderators in my group. And she messaged me and she said this, Dori, I'm stuck and I need your help. I have my cousin's daughter is 9 years old. She's autistic. She has all kinds of dietary restrictions. We're going for Thanksgiving dinner, and I want to be able to make her something, Dori, but there's so many things she can't have. She can't have dairy. She can't have coconut. She can't have coconut oil. And she gave me the list of can't have. And I was like, okay, so give me 2 seconds. Give me a minute to give it a thought. And I thought, okay, so what can you make for her that's quick and easy peasy that she can have? So I showed her a recipe for a really fun gelatin, and I'll see if I can find it for you guys. But you just make your plain gelatin in a round bowl with whatever flavor you want, and then you inject the colors and sparkles so that when you break it up, it's all pretty. And then I sent her a recipe to make her own just instant ice cream, which is kind of more like a sherbet because it's got no dairy because she can't have dairy or coconut. So we're going to do a series of recipes for this amazing little girl because she's 9 and she shouldn't have to suffer and go without things. So over the next couple weeks, month or so, I'm going to get a list of all the things that she's allowed to eat, and we're going to do some strict dietary restrictions because, especially for kids, guys, they shouldn't, we're grown-ups. We can suck it up if, we want to be healthy and maybe we have to miss some things, but they're little. That's just not fair. It's just not fair. It's not fair when you're 9 and you're dealing with all of those problems already. And then you have to go to a family dinner where everybody gets what you don't. All the cousins get stuff and you don't get to have any of it. That's just not fair. Not fair. Ooh, Rocky Road candy bars. I have seen a recipe for those. I have. And these marshmallows would be bomb for that. Absolutely bomb. And yes, I think we're going to make some fluff. I think the next batch of marshmallows I make, I'm going to make some of the fluff too, because why not? And according to the directions, the only difference for making the fluff is you use 3 tablespoons of gelatin instead of 4. So easy peasy, 3 instead of 4, and it makes fluff instead, and I'm all over the fluff. And yes, the marshmallows work awesome to float on your coffee. That's what I did with them. I just threw them on top of hot chocolates and coffees to melt. That's mostly how I ate them. And I let some of them dry out too, because I'm only slightly obsessed, you know, with those dried marshmallows that you get in cereal. So what I did was I cut up some of the pieces of marshmallow and I let them dry out. And then when I made my fake cereal that I make with like nuts and seeds, and sometimes I throw some bits of pork rinds in there, I threw the dry marshmallow bits. And then I sung the Lucky Charms song. I'm not gonna lie. I danced around my kitchen and I sung that they're magically delicious. Oh my goodness. You should have seen the look on my guy's face as I was eating my pretend cereal with my marshmallows. Oh man, do you know what? There's never a dull moment at my house. I think he loves me just for entertainment value. I'm just saying. And yes, I do use flavors, extracts for Flavor K. And you know what? Let me just pull down my basket and I'll show you guys what I use. Now, some of them I get at the regular grocery store. Some of them I have to go at the specialty store to get. So I'll give you guys kind of a rundown. So this is basic vanilla. You can get anywhere. I broke my good jar for my Mexican vanilla. This is actually really good vanilla in a cheap jar. And then I have things like almond flour, almond flavor, and these ones you can get at any grocery store. The Clubhouse, you're going to find those at pretty much any grocery store. I've got peppermint, I've got brandy, lemon. These ones come from the regular grocery store. These are the new Clubhouse packaging on those ones. And the specialty ones that I buy, you can order online. I get them either at Bulk Barn if you're in Canada, or I get them at a cake decorating specialty store. And these ones are Lorraine oils. Now, these ones are meant for flavoring candies. So these ones are super strong and I love them. You can get them in flavor packs on Amazon. Like they've got like tropical fruity pack and they've got, you know, candy flavor pack. And in here I have everything from cotton candy to cookie dough to pralines and cream. I've got root beer flavor. I've got strawberry. I've got cinnamon oil, which is that cinnamon heart candy flavor. I've got peach mango. I've got cream de mint. I'm only slightly obsessed. I do have a post both on Instagram and on Facebook where you can look at all of my flavorings all laid out. And I even put an open call. These are all my flavorings. What recipes do you want with them? And then I have a couple other specialty ones that I got. And these ones are, again, they're the Lorraine oils, but they're the big jars. This one is eggnog flavor. And I got that because last year at Christmas, my girlfriend, who is dairy-free and egg-free, wanted eggnog. And I was like, okay, eggnog flavor it is. So we blended up some ice and some coconut cream and some eggnog flavor. And guess who got to have eggnog? What? And then this one is a honey flavor. Now, the reason why I bought this is I'm hunting a sweetener that won't recrystallize. And I haven't found it yet. But when I can find a sweetener that doesn't recrystallize, we're getting keto honey. So if you guys are aware of any sweetener that does not recrystallize, let me know, and baby, I will make us some honey, because I miss the honey. I can't be the only one that misses honey. So if you guys know a sweetener that doesn't recrystallize, let me know that. Then, this is my other secret ingredient, and this is citric acid. So this will make any of these flavors a sour flavor. So you can make any of these flavors. You can make kiwi, you can make strawberry, you can make pina colada, and then you add the citric acid and it makes it sour strawberry, sour lime, sour pina colada. So this one is a good little trick to have in your toolbox too if you have kids. And citric acid is actually just vitamins. So it isn't anything in there that they can't have. So this one is actually also distributed by the Loren Gourmet. So same company that I get my extracts from makes these. So those are my easy peasy. And yeah, flavor and color made all the difference in the world for me. I just bought the standard Clubhouse colorings. You can get organic food coloring. I won't lie, I even approached a company that does organic food coloring and asked them if they would send me a sample of it so that I could show you guys what organic colors look like, because they're a lot different than your standard colors. You can really only get pastels, but it's because of the kind of coloring that they're making. And unfortunately, they don't do that. They don't send out samples for that. And I was like, well, you know what? I love you guys, but I don't have $30 in my budget to buy food coloring that I don't really need for dietary restrictions for my house. Like if I needed it for my house, I would totally buy it and I would use them and I would show you guys and I would advertise it for them. But I don't need them for my house, and $30 is a lot in my food budget because I don't have a separate budget for recipes I make for you guys. Whatever we make just comes out of my regular food budget, and whatever I make, I eat at my house. So, Nanette says one she found is almond milk, and she just looked at the label like she should have before she bought it, and it has flippin' cane sugar. So yeah, you always, yes, crap, Nanette. You always want to check and make sure that there isn't any hidden sugars, because they'll call it different names too. Like they can say it's sugar-free on the label because technically it's cane sugar, so it's not sugar, right? So they can call it sugar-free, or they can use organic coconut sugar and then call it sugar-free, or they can use so many different things. They could use agave syrup and then say it's sugar-free, or they could use honey and call it sugar-free. So yeah, we have to be super vigilant about those labels. The Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious. Yes, they are. Oh my goodness. Yes. And you know what? I totally miss marshmallows. Oh, and it looks like we're at our hour. We have a 1 minute 55 seconds remaining. So I'll sign out. We got to hang out for an hour together today, and we're going to do some awesome stuff together tomorrow. We have Motivational Monday tomorrow at 2 p.m. We are going to find our inner beast, and at 5 o'clock, we're going to talk about being in ketosis. That totally guarantees you lose weight, right? Like if you pee on the strips and it says you're in ketosis, you're totally guaranteed like fast, efficient weight loss. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. And who knows, we might do something fun in my kitchen a little bit later. We did make a snack earlier today, but my guy's gone for a couple hours. So we'll see. If I get hungry, we might have a snack. Oh, I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today and talking coffee. And I just want you guys to remember that, you know what? It only takes one moment to change your mind about everything. It could be something simple. It could be a fun coffee that makes you change your life from now until forever. So I love you guys. Have a great night. And don't forget, share the video, because this could be the video that changes somebody's life. Have a great day, guys. I adore you, darlings. We got 30 seconds left. Let's see if I can quick get us a song. Oh no, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. We could definitely play something for 30 seconds. Everything feeling I gotta at least close on Instagram, because if you don't close theirs, it disappears on you and it goes away. You guys don't have a time limit. We're gonna dance for a minute. I drink my yummy coffee. Oh my Kathy! Just in time for the dance out. I love you, darlings.